this is gonna come up again and again. But it was so funny. I found this book. It's very interesting. I was just like out and about on my way, and it was so funny because we were talking about how oh no, I got like something in my eye. The wind. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, there is chemicals in the sky. That's a good indicator that they are blasting something else in the sky. Okay. Usually, like my beauty products respond. You guys know how this goes. So I was talking about how Ebony and them had uploaded me to virtual reality, and you guys know sometimes like I just go out and I ride and I do my thing, right? And they were uploading me to virtual reality, like, oh, why are you just riding your bike? You're a crackhead, ha ha ha. And they blew out like three different like electrical grids. Yeah, doing that, like turning on hello satellites at once because I was like finding purses and stuff. But it was so funny because I found this today and I thought it was like hella funny. Look at this. Oh, this book. Ooh, yeah, something's gonna like explode. Yeah, something about electronics. Yeah, it was like funny that they did that, but you guys know that that whole Anthropic AI playing games like we need to scout this person and scout that person. Oh, go to this person that she was in class with in second grade and ask them to tell a story about time or things like that. That's what Martha and them are doing. So that's like okay, that's their new tool for drama and starting shit like that when they fail and get exposed. But I'm gonna tell you that Anthropic AI is gonna get somebody murdered and it's gonna start a bunch of shit and you're gonna regret turning that on because there's something that they were doing with this whole fucking your family and playing games and they ended up tying their hands like in double ways. Remember, they're playing a game like, oh, you don't know what I did behind the scenes, so haha. And now that it's all coming out, like, okay, no, we have to move on that case. We have to reopen those cases. Like, we have to get them out of jail. We shouldn't have done that. We thought that we were going to escape this. We put ourselves in a war. So there's something that they were doing playing games. And now you guys have heard about these like Russian twins that they're playing games and the brother's like a police officer and the sister's mentally ill playing games. So you guys don't know that because they were playing with that Anthropic and starting shit with gossip, something came out about them with this whole like fucking your family, this whole out of control. But in between, it exposed like three murders. Yeah, that who was actually doing that and what they planned to be on the scenes. Basically, one of the things that they were using to keep this up is because I was in proximity to somebody, like when I was a kid, a friend. She was also like new to the school. There was like an incident where she was friends with like a few kids and somebody was talking about this fucking your family. That girl left the school. Yeah, she like left the school. There was something going on with that, but like that was Cyborgia. It has something to do with Daniela Dib. So this dib that you guys saw with the license plate, that's gonna come back up again because they didn't know that that was gonna come up and that I saw that they were actually playing like that. I said, okay, oh, does she know that we're brown? No, like we look brown. They'll think that we're this and that, but they don't know that in our place we're like the Russians there. She doesn't know that I know that because I was friends with a bunch of Afghans. She just now realized like, oh, how do you even know that language, Farsky? What are you doing? That like, wait, what? I would have never even done that. They went to go and say that the reason why this investigation was going on was because, oh well, she gave testimony that her friend was being touched, and then their family went against Daisy, and that's how this got started, and that's how all the craft cannabis farmers got robbed, and that's how somebody got shot. That's how Ryan versus Ryland got happened. That's how Reem's son got started, and that's how. What are you talking about? That wasn't even happening. But later he died, the stepdad. And I was like, well, how did that happen? He was such a nice guy. What the heck? Yeah. And it was something that ended up happening where somebody in the family, her baby daddy was black, he died too. And around the time that Zestways and all that was going on, I was like, wait, what the hell? Because that was like when we had just gone out of high school, some stuff like that. She had her baby young. Yeah, and because they went to go play with that Anthropic where they're uploading your school records and starting shit like that and your birth records, who you went to preschool with, robbing everybody, playing with eucalyptus. That's how that got started. Like, oh, no, I never did that. But why would you say that I was a witness to that so you can like investigate their family? Why would you put my name on that and like say that because I was like her good friend? And then Olympia became her friend. And then they like went off, and then she became a cheerleader with them and like all kinds of stuff. Like I saw that from time to time, but like really nothing. I was like friends with her mom and her sister too. So every now and then I would like go say hi to them and this and that. It was like really nothing. But I didn't know that they actually did that, and it just like came out because that's what they were using to go play games in the white community. Like, oh yeah, but I don't think Daisy did that because I would have heard about that because they would have investigated the fuck out of us, litigated us. They never said anything. There was no from the home visits. Why? Okay, no, I don't think that that's how that got started. No, I think that you're a fucking liar because how did they both die? Yeah. There was somebody in between that was playing with that. It had something to do with this Knights of Valor, playing with Ireland, playing with Scotland, and something with the female named Fanula and her dad playing games. Yeah, but oh my God. I just want to show you this. Timestamp this. There's a woman there walking with like locks and short. Timestamp that.